Hey everybody, welcome back to FTB Infinity Evolved Skyblock. This is episode 2. Since the end of the last episode, I've not done what I said I was going to do over here and sort all this lot out. Instead, what I've done is I've set up a bit of a auto cobblestone generator. It's it looks a little bit crazy. That's because it is, but it's functional. That's all I'm interested in. And I've discovered the use of this chicken stick. So basically, it seems like it's unbreakable, but if you just hit the cobble with this, you get a piece of gravel back. So it is just basically a hammer. And as I've got sort of just over 2 stacks of this stuff, I've also found out that every now and then it spawns a chicken. At the moment, they're just falling down into the void, but I'm sure that will come of some use at some point. So the reason why I've done this is because I wanted to show you what we can do with the gravel now. If I just take a couple of pieces of this and actually put that through the sieve, like so, you can hear that I'm getting some bits and pieces here, and just get that one through, and then I'll show you what we're actually getting here. So we're getting some little bits and pieces of other materials, some yellorium, bit of lapis, some flint, some apatite, some broken tin, some platinum. And basically what you can do with these pieces, once you've got, say with the tin, once you've got 4 pieces, you can put that together in a crafting grid and it will form a block, which you could then either put into a smeltery or into a furnace and get the corresponding ingot, or you can hammer that down further into, so this is at the moment sort of broken pieces, you can hammer that down further into the sort of sand version and then a dust version. And yeah, so it's all pretty good. So that's how we get our materials to progress the game there. So the first thing that I'm going to want to do, however, is I actually want to get some cobble rather than gravel. So to do that, we are going to need a pick. And unfortunately, you can't use the vanilla items to start off with anyway. I think you perhaps be able to use the vanilla cobble version. I don't know. I've not got there yet, but certainly I've tried to make a wooden axe already and that failed. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the basic tinker's items, the part builder, etc. made up, and then we're going to get some more of this gravel. We're going to sort of punch a bit of that down, try and get some more flint, and see if we can make ourselves a flint pickaxe. So what we are going to need is some patterns. So first of all, let's just use, I'm going to use all of it. Let's just turn some of that into planks and grab a few sticks, because I'm relatively sure that this is going to be another expensive, turn a few more of those. These are going to be expensive, and we'll put half of that there. Yeah, I'll just put that there for now and grab those patterns out. And I think the recipes are going to be the same for this. Yeah, they are. So there's our part builder, and we want another 4 pieces of that. That was more than 4 pieces, that was 8 pieces. So we want to turn the crafting table into a tool station. Then we want a stencil table, which is, I think it's just a normal piece of wood with, yep, so that's the stencil table. So I'm pop those down. Just put them all in the hotbar, so that makes it a little bit easier. In fact, shall we turn those? Yeah, I think actually we'll turn those all into the slab version, so I can just have those in the floor, and I think that will make life a lot easier. And yeah, I think we'll perhaps put them down here, keep them nice and close. So I'm going to try to get these up without losing the slabs. There's the first one. There's the second one and the third one. So we'll put our tool station just here, put our part builder next to that just here, and then we'll put our stencil table in just here. And if we go in there, we'll pop the patterns that we've got here and grab ourselves a pickaxe head. We'll grab ourselves a tool rod and just need to grab some more stencils. So in fact we just need one more for now, so that's all we'll grab and pop that in there. In fact no, that's the wrong one, that's the tool station. We'll just pop that in there, and we need to grab ourselves a tool binding as well, and I think we just need one more piece of gravel. So let's just pop this down and see how quickly I can get myself some flint. Hopefully that won't be too difficult. Not got any flint at all. In fact, let's just sieve a few more of these pieces here, because I've already got one piece of flint from doing that, so hopefully I can get some more relatively quickly. Let's just have a quick look and see, have we got what we need yet? In fact, I don't need to do that. Yeah, we've got a couple of pieces of flint. Let's just see, is that enough to do this? So we want the pickaxe head and the flint. In fact, we only needed one. We only needed the one piece, and the handle I'm going to make from a piece of wood here, and that's going to leave us a stick, which I'm kind of hoping that's enough to make the binding with. It's not, so we need to turn another piece of our wood into planks, and going to grab that, put it in there, and there's our wooden binding, and then we can put that together in here. Just switch that onto pickaxe like so, and there is our first pickaxe. Now it's probably not going to last that long, but at least with this we should be able to just grab some cobble, which we can, and then obviously we can make some better tools. I just want to grab 3 pieces of this and see if I can actually make a vanilla pickaxe, because that would kind of make life a little bit easier, because you have quite a lot of cobble. So in fact, it probably won't make life that much easier. I just want to see if we can do it. And yeah, that's enough pieces there. So just go into the normal crafting table, a couple of sticks and some cobble. Does that work? Yeah, it does. So we can actually make normal tools as well. So what I'm going to do is I am going to sift down the rest of this gravel, and then we'll move on from there. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've sieved down a few pieces of this gravel, and I've got some bits and pieces here. I've just stuck a new chest down to put those in. Managed to get ourselves our first diamond, so that's excellent. But before I sort of got too far with that, I suddenly kind of remembered that I actually wanted to get some bone meal, because we're running quite low on that. We've only got 6 pieces left now, and that's going to kind of hold us up if we can't sort of get these trees growing quickly. And if I just go into any eye really quickly and just show you bone meal, one of the ways that you can get that is through the sieve. So let's just look at the normal sieve here, and if I just show you the recipes, what we want is the one that's got dust. So here we go, dust, which is the sort of final level of hammering, which I'll show you in a second. But yeah, basically that's where we're going to get the bone meal. That's also where we're going to get a lot of the other stuff in dust form, including all of the normal ores like iron, copper, tin, etc. and redstone, which is going to become quite important very quickly. So in order to get that, all we're going to do is, let's put down a few pieces of gravel just to show you. So to put the gravel down, if you hit that again with the hammer, that's now going to turn into sand. And then we can take that sand, pop that down, and say we hit that again with the hammer, and that will now turn into dust. Dust is also used for getting clay. So if I was to pop a piece of dust into the water here, then that would turn into clay. But we want to set up a bit of a sort of an infinite water source if we can before we start using up the little bit of water that we've got, because I'm not sure when it's going to rain again, and I don't want to waste that if I can help it. So what we're going to do with our dust is just the same as we do with the gravel. We're going to sift that down, and we are going to try and get as many of those bits and pieces as we can. In fact, all of the gravel that we've got, I'm going to hammer that down into dust. And while we're on the subject of cobblestone, we can also look at making ourselves a furnace, and we can then get some charcoal, some torches. In fact, I think we've got some coal already, so we'll probably make some torches out of that, but we need to make ourselves a furnace anyway. And I've been looking at the recipe for this, and the standard furnace is way expensive. So I've just show you this. Instead of the 9 pieces of cobble, you actually need 9 pieces of compressed cobble, and each piece of compressed cobble is 9 pieces of normal cobblestone. So well over a stack of cobble to do that. Or what we can do is, what would have been the old recipe now makes the Tinker's Construct slab furnace. So that's basically 9 normal pieces of cobblestone to get a slab furnace. So I think we'll make one of those, and that'll work just as well. And we'll pop that down, I don't know, over here somewhere, I think. Just, I don't know, put it there for now. I'm going to move all this stuff around because I don't really want it all sort of cluttered up into one area. But then, yeah, we can start turning some of this wood that we've got into charcoal. As I say, we're going to be, in fact, no, that's the wrong way around. I want it like that. And we're, yeah, collecting some coal anyway, so probably not too fussed about making too much of that, but certainly that is how we're going to get more of a sort of unlimited supply if we need it. And if we need to later on, I'm sure we'll be able to set up some kind of a tree farm, but I've kind of got the feeling that we're not going to need to. But there we go. There's our furnace, and as I say, I can make some torches and start lighting this place up a bit, so that at least when I do some recording, if it happens to be in the dark, that it's not going to be like it was for the first 5 minutes of episode 1, where you couldn't actually see anything. The next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to take this gravel, I'm going to hammer all that down into dust, I'm going to sift that all, but I'm not going to have you watch that. I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I have sifted down a good amount of this stuff now, and as you can see, I've got a fair bit of stuff in there, and it kind of occurs to me that what I really want to do is to get an iron bucket. And if you just have a quick look in NEI, it's going to be a little bit of a mission. In fact, let's not just put iron, let's actually put bucket in there, because what we're going to need to do is to get iron plates. First of all, it's not just a simple case of iron ingots, and then the wrong one, those plates. We're going to need to get the forge hammer and 2 iron ingots for each iron plate. So basically we already need 6 iron ingots, and the forge hammer is made with 5 iron ingots and some of these treated sticks. And treated sticks are made from treated planks, which kind of fairly sure that we are going to need creosote to do that. And creosote comes from the coke oven. And if we just look at the recipe for the coke oven requires 26 of these bricks. It's a 3x3x3 multi-block, and each one of those requires 5 pieces of sand and 4 bricks, and obviously a brick is made by smelting down clay. So that is a whole lot of clay, and we've currently only got 4 buckets of water. Remember I said earlier that clay is made by dumping some dust into some water. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a pain to get that. I don't think we're going to get that in this episode. In fact, the problem of getting the water from just the rain, I would have to have so many buckets, and still I'd have to be relying on it raining. So I think there's probably going to be another way of doing this, and I'm thinking maybe I can do something with glass bottles, because I don't know, I might be wrong here, but I don't think glass bottles actually use up the source block. But I'll do a little bit of reading up on that, because I'm not 100% sure, and it's kind of like 2 o'clock in the morning here, so my brain's not actually working as fast as it probably could. But one thing that we can do now, I kind of said a little bit of a derpy thing earlier when I said this was an automatic cobble generator. Obviously it's not, it's very, very manual, and we can probably make that automatic in this episode. What we're going to need is a transfer node. I think that's extra utilities. Let's just go in and have a look. If I can actually type transfer node. Yeah, it is extra utilities. So that just requires a bit of redstone, some smooth stone, a chest, and a pipe. We use the transfer pipe, which again is just a bit more smooth stone turned into slabs, a bit of glass, and a bit more redstone. If we grab out of here what coal we've got, and we're going to need to grab a little bit more sand, so let's just quickly turn this gravel into sand. Probably going to need a little bit more of that, actually. Just grab a little bit more of that, and we'll pop the sand into the furnace. Let's just pop that in there. And this, how many bits of glass did we actually need? We only actually needed 2 bits of glass. Let's just smelt that down, and then we'll smelt down some of this cobble. In the meantime, let's grab this redstone out and turn 9 pieces of that into a block, and that should be done by now. Yes, it is. And we're going to need 3 of those for the slabs, and another 2, I think it was, for here. And then we're going to need to grab some of our bone meal, which we've got plenty of now, and just grow this tree. And we need the wood from the tree. I'm not so worried about the leaves right now. Let's just grab this wood. We need to make ourselves another chest. Like so. In fact, I might as well just cut this all down. And hopefully we'll get some saplings from that, which we have. Good. That was actually quite a good number of saplings. I didn't expect to get quite that many. How are we doing here? So we've got our stone, and we can turn the wood into planks, and the planks we can now use to get ourselves our chest. And I think we've got all the bits together that we need for that. just need to make the sorting pipe. Ah, we need a piece of gold as well. But was that? No, I think I just chose the wrong sorting pipe. We want the transfer pipe. Sorry, yes, that's a bit of redstone. Crikey. And that said, I think I'm just probably going to need to smelt. Oh no, I'm not going to need to smelt anymore. So that there, bit of glass and a bit of redstone in the middle. That's our transfer pipe, and then 2 bits of stone here, bit of transfer pipe at the top, block of redstone here, redstone either side, and the chest, and there's our transfer node. And then in order to make that work, we're going to need a world integration upgrade, and that is this is where we come unstuck, because we've not got the diamonds or the lapis for this. Oh no, we've got the lapis. We just need some more diamonds. In order to do that, we're going to need to sieve down some more gravel. Hopefully I'll get lucky with this, and what I'll do is I'll sift down a little bit more of that and see if we can get some diamonds, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, some considerable time later and about 10 stacks of gravel, we've finally managed to get the diamonds that we need. We've also got a whole host of other stuff that is that's going to stand us in good stead for later, including an emerald. But we're going to take the 3 diamonds and turn that straight into a diamond pick. And just need to grab some of this lapis as well. I think that was 4 bits of lapis that I needed. And let's just remind ourselves of what else that we needed for the world interaction upgrade. So we need 4 iron ingots. So we'll just grab some of the iron out of here. Now we use this powdered iron ore, and all we do is just turn that into blocks of dust like this, and we should be able to just pop that directly into the furnace, which we can. So we just wait a couple of minutes for that to do what it needs to do. And in the meantime, we're going to make a barrel from Java Barrels. What was it? Better Barrels? Whatever it's called. And in fact, we need ourselves a chest first. Let's just take that back out and make a chest. And this is what we'll collect the cobblestone in. So that goes in the middle there. Put that around here and pop that on top. And there is our better barrel. And just one more piece of iron. There we go. And now we can just pop this into the crafting grid like so. The pick in the middle, the lapis around the outside, and there is our world interaction upgrade. I keep saying that wrong. And then finally, put this together. So the transfer node on the front here, pop the upgrade into the middle like so. And then where can we put the barrel in front? I think just here. And that wasn't where I wanted that to go, so let's just chop that down again. Right, let's start that again. I'm actually going to put that, I think, yeah, we'll pop that just there, in fact. And we need the transfer pipe, which I'm going to put there. In fact, let's just go a bit further away. Just where? Why is that not actually going down? What's going on? There, right, there we go. And if you just go back into there, the upgrade actually goes in here. That will now start to fill this up with cobble, and that is now properly automated. So we won't have to stand there cutting or mining that down anymore. And because, as I say, it is now getting quite late, I'm going to end the episode there before I say any more crazy things. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and the next episode, or before the next episode, I'm going to do what I said before and extend the base out a little bit. I'm going to use the cobble to do that because it's now cheaper than wood to use, easier to get. Let's just pop another sapling down here. And yeah, we'll kind of probably sort this area out. I might not do, but we're certainly going to get some torches down to light this up a little bit. And we'll start working towards getting this coke oven sorted. And I'll have a little bit of a think about how we can deal with our water issues. But as I say, if you enjoyed the episode, drop us a like and take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.